to Walking with J.Beau. Hope you're enjoying this evening. Late afternoon. As you can hear, it's rush hour. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we got a fresh new day. It's beautiful today, and moderate humidity. It's actually quite nice. I'm going to ditch off on this side street so we get less traffic noise. I sincerely hope you're having a beautiful day today. I'm going to do a basic 5-mile walk. Hope that you have enjoyed the walking that I've been doing. The walking and talking. Well, I am very happy today. We had nice dry air. It's nice. You can see like that tree right there starting to get some orange tints in it. It's still August. We got 1 week left of August, so it looks to me like we're on our way to have an early fall, which may translate into an early winter. I see another one way in the distance there. So wow, I don't recall trees turning this much in August. I don't know what it has to do with. I'm not a tree expert. I do know that this year has not had very much rain. Last year we were absolutely over-soaked with rain. But you can see right like through there, those leaves in the back there starting to turn. Very interesting. So anyway, speaking of other things that are interesting, it looks like RFK Jr. did in fact suspend his campaign today. But what's really good is he's leaving his name on the ballot, but he is legally having his name removed from the ballots in the states that Trump needs to win. So basically in the safe Democrat and safe Republican states, he's going to leave his name on the ballot. He knows he's not going to win, which is why he suspended his campaign. And you have to remember, this is tough for him because at one point he was at about 20% in the primary. And he ended up leaving the Democratic Party because they forced him out with lawfare. Big shocker, huh? Democrats rigging things, cheating. So he had a lot of choice words about the Democratic Party today when he gave his speech. And he is rightfully upset. But it might be just desserts for the Democratic Party coming up, because this is going to add a lot more support to Trump, because RFK endorsed Trump today and he was very clear. He said, I don't support everything that the Trump campaign supports, and he goes, they don't support everything we support, but we can work together as Americans and make sure Kamala doesn't win, and that's democracy. Because both parties can't stand anything Kamala's proposing. It would destroy this country, which I believe is their plan and plot, literally, just like they've done to the UK and other places. And yes, they have. So if you're watching from overseas, my apologies, but my viewpoint as an American is your countries are gone and they're not going to be redeemed. not without really bad things happening. But that's just my opinion. Canada is almost there, and the United States is on its way, just a few years different than Canada. So these global elites have taken over everything: banking, distribution, food, manufacturing, all of it. The media. And they have been very effective. The only thing stopping them is us. So I don't mean us like the United States, I mean us as people everywhere. They're going to get to a certain point where people aren't going to comply. And I wish it was a lot more people than there is now. Either way, like RFK said eloquently today, I'm putting my country first by throwing my support behind Trump, who, by the way, RFK did not come to Trump first. He admitted today that he wanted to talk with the Kamala campaign. He wanted to make sure that he could get some kind of cabinet position with Kamala. So, you know, that's one of those things about RFK I don't understand. You know, he doesn't want Kamala to win, but he went and talked with her in case she does win. But he was ignored. They didn't talk with him. I had said on a previous walk that that was probably something that the Kamala campaign planted in the media to have as a story. But he confirmed it today. So, have no idea why he would do that. It seems kind of like a wishy-washy, non-trustworthy thing. But he is removing his name from the Pennsylvania ballot first, legally. He said that's in the process of happening right now. And so the Democrat campaign wanted to ignore him and not listen to him, so maybe this is his way of telling the Democratic Party to go F itself after everything they've done to him. You know, I'm going to help Trump win. And Trump is going to win. Make no mistake about that. He said the prospect of Kamala winning by 3 or 4 points, should that happen, he said he would not have been able to feel good about himself, knowing that his supporters, and he goes, I look at polling, he goes, I know, he goes, most of his supporters are people that would vote for Trump. That's what he said today. He goes, I am endorsing Donald Trump. And he said also, I'm assuming Donald Trump's going to keep his word about putting RFK in charge of something meaningful and tangible. RFK said today that if Trump wins, he's going to fix our food supply, which you have heard me complain about endlessly on my walks. He talked about how they're prescribing Ozempic for children that are obese. Instead of promoting children to exercise and lose weight and get in shape and eat better, kids are eating garbage, getting fat, overweight, and obese. And the solution is to prescribe drugs instead of fixing what's causing them getting fat. He said he is going to change our whole entire food system, which I wholeheartedly support 1000%. He said these corporations own the Democrats. He said the corporations own the Republicans. And we're never going to see anything meaningful unless we have a president like Trump and then somebody like him in charge of the food supply, which I guess Trump promised him. He's going to be in charge of medical and the FDA, you know, Food Drug Administration. Food and drug. So I think that's what Bobby Kennedy is going to be assigned and tasked to do for Americans when Trump wins. And I absolutely applaud that. RFK is a good man. I've never said anything bad about him. I don't agree with everything he says. But like RFK said today, we're supposed to do that. I don't agree with everything Trump says, he said. He doesn't agree with everything I say. But we do agree that Kamala cannot be president because we have democracy in this country and people should be able to work together for a common cause, and he said that's what we're going to do. In other words, our differences aren't enough to warrant not working together. Agree with that 100%. Now, Trump did two rallies, doing two, I should say. One was a short no tax on tips. A no tax on tips thing today in Las Vegas, Nevada. I watched some of it. No deer out here today in this field. Usually only see them when it starts getting dark and towards nighttime. So and then he's going to Glendale, Arizona tonight in a little while from now. Hop, skip, and a jump from Nevada, Las Vegas. And so I'll be watching that a little bit later. So anyway, very interesting stuff. Things are looking good, folks. Trump will get a poll boost out of this, absolutely, in the swing states. He's not going to get a huge boost in the national popular vote, but that's not what's important in America. So hang on to your heinies, folks. It's going to be a wild one. Very exciting, to be honest with you. I have never seen an election cycle this thrilling. Good, bad, or indifferent as this one. So oh man, I love that stuff. I am so excited right now. This is like the best news. I mean, what was it, last week or the week before, I was walking with you guys and I was saying, I wish some kind of miracle would happen where RFK would see that he's hurting the Trump campaign and he would just drop out. He would be so respected for that, putting the country before his party. And he's giving up a lot, okay? Because I think he understands that he's not going to reach past that 5%. Now, when Biden was in office, and the primary was still going on, RFK was at 20%. He was doing well enough to start his own party. He would have got $14 million in election cycle for his party. And it would have been good, healthy competition for the other people in the democratic process. But now that he has dropped down to 5%, and it's pretty much going to remain linear throughout the rest of the cycle, he decided to pack it in and support Trump. I like the fact that he's leaving his name on the ballot in the states that don't matter. I mean, they all matter, but you know, I think he's going to remain on the ballot in 10 states, I think he said. The bluest and the most red states, just to see what happens, you know. And he said he can't see working his staff on a bare bones minimum amount of money like he has been. He said the media machine has been against them because they're helping the Democrats. He said we no longer have a media. And he said that he has done 2 television interviews on the big networks. And he said at this same time, when Ross Perot was in office, Ross Perot had done 37 television interviews. And they have only interviewed RFK twice. So he was like, there's something fundamentally wrong with that, which there is. And we have a corrupt system. So this is RFK's big middle finger. Now I gotta tell you, this was not an easy decision for him. Okay? He is a born and bred moderate Democrat, kind of like a Bill Maher. And I don't think he had too many issues with Trump, to be honest with you. He was really touched when they tried to kill Trump, because obviously his uncle was killed by an assassin, John F. Kennedy, and his dad, Robert F. Kennedy Sr., was also killed by an assassin at a Democratic primary. So that was very personal for him. And I think that opened up a lot of dialogue between the two. I think he saw the parallels. Trump is coming in as somebody that's trying to change things, and the system does not want things changed. They want Trump to go away. He also mentioned Trump's lawfare stuff against him. And he mentioned the lawsuits filed against his campaign, meaning the RFK campaign, to drive him off ballots. He said they had mixed success with that. He said we still have cases ongoing, and they're just delaying and sabotaging everything. He said we're never going to be able to overcome this. And he said, so we're going to give our voters to Trump. So screw all of them, right? Hallelujah. Haktua. Put some spit on it. So anyways, sorry I had to throw that in there. We are talking about Kamala Harris after all. So now that's it. The DNC convention is over. The media is praising it as the greatest thing since sliced bread, which they would have done if Biden had done it, or a friggin' corpse wheeled out in a coffin running for president. They would have got the same review in the media. So you can't take anything they say seriously anymore at all. And we haven't been able to for a long time, actually. So as they say in the old days, we got ourselves a ball game. And we're gonna win this son of a bitch. It's not gonna be in no extra innings either in a game 7. We're gonna win on election night, because between now and the election, I honestly believe their strategy of keeping Kamala from doing interviews and away from the public is going to be detrimental to them. She's already starting to slip in the polls when she should be riding a high right now. And she's starting to go down and normalize. And she's going to go down further because Trump is out there working and Kamala is not. So they're going to do their staged copying Trump rallies, which you have to RSV for and show an ID. Because if there's empty seats, they're going to bust people in to fill it up to make it look like she's as big as Trump. And, you know, that's just a band-aid. It's bullshit. It's not going to do anything. She's finished. She's a crappy candidate. And I believe the American people will figure that out between now and election day. I'm guessing she's going to lose maybe 3, maybe 4 points from RFK supporting Trump. And I think she's going to lose a couple, maybe 3 points on her own. Trump's going to end up with the lead he had against Biden after the debate. And the rest is going to be history. Hopefully, any October surprise this year will be against Kamala and Tim Walz. I'm hedging my bets on Tim Walz, okay? I think a skeleton is going to come out of his closet. It's going to be a big one. It's going to involve something sexual. And the other thing, too, that somebody leaked is that Kamala's husband, Mr. Emhoff, boinked his child's nanny. Okay? Polite way to put it. He boinked the child's nanny, more than half his age, and got her pregnant. We have not found out if the woman was paid off. We have not found out if she had the baby or if she had an abortion. I'm guessing she had an abortion. But nothing has been said about it. The media doesn't seem curious enough to find out, but that's all going to come out. So, Tim Walz, well, he just looks weird to me, okay? And I know they've been using the weird thing, but Tim Walz is the one that's weird. He's a little too happy and joyful. And I think we're going to have some kind of big news come out about him that has to do with sex, probably something illegal. I'll just leave it at that. That would be glorious. I honestly believe he's got a drawer in his bedroom, probably his closet too, that's got toys in it and all kinds of stuff. And he's a little too affectionate around children. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying what I've observed. There's something not right about him. I can't quite put my finger on it yet, but I'm sure it'll come out. This is an election campaign, and it's going to be bare knuckle brawling, like I was talking about the other night. Right now it's in a knockout, drag out, no holds barred knuckle fight right now. So I don't think the Democrats were as careful vetting Tim Walz as the Trump campaign was with J.D. Vance. And if you watched this past week with J.D. Vance talking with the media, he did several media outlets on people out to get him, and he handled all of them wonderfully. Even Jake Tapper ended up getting crap from CNN liberals and viewers, angry that he was not cornering J.D. Vance on these things. And these people don't understand that he can't corner J.D. Vance on this stuff because he was telling the truth. And the problem is the people watching CNN don't believe it's the truth because they're not being told. So it's really interesting. So that's where we are right now with that. So we got some Trump flags around the corner here. Trump. Good Trump flags. So, well, hell, man, you know, we're in it now. We have a debate coming up. Apparently there was 2 scheduled, and she backed out of one of them. So now there's only one. There's one debate against Trump. And J.D. Vance and Walz will debate in October 4th. So we got September 10th and October 4th. Then of course we still have Trump's sentencing next month. I'm sure that's going to be a circus. So again, to reiterate on that, they're going to sentence Trump to jail. RFK Jr. was talking today about how they prosecuted him and found him guilty on a trumped up charge, basically by stitching 2 crimes together. A bunch of bullshit. And it's election rigging. It's exactly what it is. I'm going to say what it is. So basically, at the end of the day, Trump is the only candidate that's going to ban men from women's sports and ban transitioning children and getting rid of indoctrination in our schools. He said he's going to cut off their funding if they don't stop that. And we need a Republican Congress to help him with that. And to be honest with you, I've seen the polls here in Maine. I really don't think Austin Terrio is going to beat Congressman Democrat Jared Golden. I just don't. Austin Terrio is not very charismatic as far as doing what he needs to do to win. Maybe he'll do something between now and the election, but you know. So we had a choice of Austin Terrio, or we had a choice of Mike Sobolewski. And Sobolewski is basically a rhino. I could smell that a mile away. So would he have done better than Austin Terrio? No, I don't think so. I don't. The Trump campaign endorsed Austin Terrio. I think he'll have a decent showing for votes, but I don't think he's going to beat Jared Golden. Although Jared Golden and Shelley Pingree, 2 congressmen from Maine, got caught distributing Democrat-funded infrastructure money towards political activist groups to help Democrats here in Maine. That's supposed to be illegal. So that's a story breaking today. I don't know how much the media is going to cover it. And it's like, if the media doesn't cover it, I guess it never happened, right? The only reason why I heard about it is the main wire covered it. An independent news organization that they're the ones that broke the Chinese marijuana grows, the illegal ones, by the Communist Party, along with the Daily Wire. So there's probably a lot of truth to this, with Jared Golden and Shelley Pingree distributing tax dollars to fund political activist groups to help Democrats. That's supposed to be an election violation. So we'll watch what comes with that. Hopefully something will come out of that. These people are always cheating. Always, 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 always. The moment you say, well, geez, things are quiet, maybe they're not, well, oh, there it is, right there, you know, they're always cheating. The gears are always working towards injustice and screwing people over for their party. So the only thing that's ever going to change that is for voters to catch on that that's what they're doing and forcing them to change. Because right now voting still matters. It won't much longer if they win. Kamala Harris wins this year, they're going to change the elections, guaranteed. We're never going to have the same kind of elections. They tried to federalize elections when they won the House the last time. HR 1 in Congress passed. That's the first bill they passed. That was the first priority, to nationalize and federalize our elections. So that is a top priority with them. Once they federalize elections, Washington, D.C. will have control of all elections nationwide. There would be a ton of lawsuits against that, which would probably win constitutionally, I would think. And they want to get rid of the Electoral College. So they want to have a national popular vote, and they want to have the federal government controlling elections, just like they did in Venezuela. And look what they're doing now. And they will do it here. It cannot be allowed at all cost. Get a little Poochie out on the porch there, getting a little barky. Just hit the 2-mile mark. Well, at least it's not raining today. I might get away with getting my walk in and not get rained on today like I did past 3 days in a row. So I had one walk cut short to a little over 4 miles, not yesterday, but a couple days before that, because of rain. It's actually because of a thunderstorm. A little bit of rain's not going to hurt, but lightning does hurt. So I'm probably going to do 6 today to make up for that, because I always have to get at least 5. So I watched a security camera footage, to go completely off topic, security camera footage in Chicago of this black dude on a bicycle, pedaling down the street, and this car was parked waiting for him. I don't even know what their meaning was for it. Because if you think about it, waiting for somebody to go by, they would have to go by that same way all the time. And they were there waiting for him. I think this might have just been random gang excitement. Maybe they were doing an initiation for somebody to join the group. Have no idea. But this guy was just going down the street in a lane in traffic on a bicycle. And this car swung its door open, tripped him up, and he wiped out on his bike. About 5 guys got out of the car, and they all had Glocks with extended magazines, and they all shot this guy multiple times, at least 30 times. And the last shot was in the back of his head. And then they just got in the car and took off. Horrible video. I watched it uncensored, and it was tough to watch because I carry a firearm and I train regularly in using it. I'm pretty good at using it, and it wouldn't have mattered in this case. He got knocked off his bike, lying in the street in the pavement on his chest, still tangled up in his bike, and he didn't have time to get up, brush himself off or anything. They just got out of the car and pig-piled on him and shot him to death with 30 shots at least. Might have been less than 30, but I know they had at least 3 or 4 apiece, and there was 5 of them. So it's a lot of bullet holes. And he didn't die right away. So I could tell from the video and the reaction of being shot that they were all shooting Full Metal Jacket target rounds, cheap stuff, which will still kill you, you know, but you could shoot somebody with a good hollow point just one time in the chest and they'll drop right down like a stone, instantly dead because their artery got severed. And this guy didn't look like he was put an end to until he got one in the back of the head. And that last shot was the one that really ended him quickly. So it's pretty brutal. I don't recommend everybody watches that stuff uncensored. I've just seen a lot of it. I've always been one of those people, that stuff, I get upset a different way. It doesn't make me feel faint. It doesn't gross me out. I understand it. This goes back to the Iraq War. Video leaking online of beheadings. I've watched some of those, at least 4. And they're pretty horrible, terrible thing to watch. When you see a cage of prisoners in orange suits locked in a cage and being set on fire, burned alive. I've watched those. And the reason why I watch those sometimes is, not lately, but I've been seasoned, some would say maybe hardened by it, but you need to know what you're dealing with. Like when 9/11 happened and you saw bodies jumping from the skyscrapers because they were going to burn to death, and they chose to jump off the building to their death rather than burn alive. It's an amazing thing to watch in a bad way. And I was kind of upset when they opted to censor it in the media after a couple of days. They stopped showing those clips, and they should have showed those. That's what people were angry about, you know, that these people were forced to do that, jump out of a building. That one guy with his business suit on, tie was behind his head, flapping around, and he's still holding on to his suitcase. You probably remember that guy. They never found out who he was. They never identified him. He was like the unknown guy. And what goes through your head at that moment, you know? You know you're gonna die. Yet he would not let his suitcase go. It's like, is that him clinging on to a piece of his life that he was upset he was losing? You know, his job. That always struck me, you know, why is he holding on to his briefcase? It doesn't mean anything anymore, he's gonna die. But apparently it meant something to him, so. Maybe he had something personal in there that he brought every day to work with him. I don't know. But, you know, so it's important to watch that stuff just to understand what's going on and the gravity of it. And I think society has been too sanitized. They censor everything. They don't want you to see it. And, you know, Democrat news networks, they should be showing these unfiltered killings in Chicago on their news broadcast. They should just be showing that. That's just my opinion, of course, with a disclaimer, or as the left likes to call it, a trigger warning. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but that's gone away. You used to read a news article and there would be something upsetting in it to a certain part of the population. It may offend or upset, and they would say, if you continue reading, there is a trigger warning. Remember all the safe spaces and trigger warnings, and where has all that stuff gone? It's gone away. Just gone now. You know, we had a pandemic and that went away. So apparently it's something that wasn't working for them. So I don't know, man. So we got some, actually we got some nails in the road here. So I'm going to clear these. There we go. I think I got them all. I did my good deed for the day. Somebody selling a motorcycle. So that's the stuff I was talking about on walks. A lot of people selling things. That guy right there selling that truck. So we got people selling that extra motorcycle, selling that extra truck, because that's extra insurance, extra registration, extra cost. I'm telling you, this country is about ready to implode. Trump has to get in the White House. They're lying about the economy in an election year, for one thing. They're blatantly lying about it. They got caught lying about it. They got caught, the Biden administration just got caught lying about almost 1 million jobs. $818,000, not dollars, but 818,000 jobs disappeared into thin air because somebody leaked, probably a patriot, that the Biden administration was lying about the jobs numbers. Now, they've been probably lying all along. And they know the economy is screwed. And it's an election year. If that doesn't piss you off to all levels of anything that can piss you off, then you're friggin' dead. That is one of our agencies lying to the American people to protect the president. Democrats, liberals, activists, the people in charge. So somebody got that information and they leaked it, thankfully. Now Trump is using it on the campaign trail. So there you go. I guess the media doesn't want to talk about it, but they have to because Trump's talking about it. I have upset this whole neighborhood of dogs because I'm talking. The dogs are all unhappy. So I hope you're enjoying today's talk. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the polls now that Kennedy has dropped out. National poll numbers are not going to change very much. But the poll numbers in the states that matter will. So, of course, you're still going to have the crooked polling. They're going to try to make it look like it didn't do anything. So, I don't know what to tell you folks. I would recommend checking out Trafalgar, Rasmussen, and maybe CNBC. They have been pretty accurate. And the other ones though, yeah, you're not going to get any truth. You're just not. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. Hate to break it to you. You know, the other thing I've been watching that I'm mystified by, and I haven't been able to figure it out, and I need to investigate it. I want to know why 4 of the Senate races in deep red states have the Republican that's running for Senate way behind. I want to know what's going on. I want to know if this is Mitch McConnell retiring this year and this is his final middle finger to Trump, like McCain did with the Affordable Care Act. He'd rather give Obama a win and screw over Trump. And I'm wondering if Mitch McConnell is doing his final middle finger to Trump, despite putting on appearances of getting along. Because McConnell is the one that controls the amount of money for campaigns and strategies for Republicans running for the Senate. Is it just incompetence, or is it Mitch McConnell screwing Trump? And that's why I don't like Mitch McConnell, because you don't know. He has announced that he's retiring this year. You'd think he would want to go out with a nice, full, robust Senate with Republicans in firm control. But no. There's no reason for a senator running for office in very extremely red Montana, where Trump has 90% approval. There's no reason for a Republican senator running for office to be behind there. Or in states like Iowa, I think is another one. Something's not right. And I don't think it's dishonest polling. I think the Republicans are behind in the Senate. I just don't understand why. Haven't figured that out yet. The public is funny that way. People may very well feel that they know Trump's going to win, and they don't want to give him carte blanche of the Congress and Senate too, and voters inherently seem to make sure that never happens. That's another reason why I think Trump won in 2020, because Biden ended up with the House and the Senate and the presidency. Historically, that just really never happens. So, you know, that also happened in 2016 when Trump won. I think people expected Hillary to win, so we had a Republican Congress and a Republican Senate. Unfortunately, Because of rhinos like Paul Ryan sabotaging Trump, he basically jerked Trump's chain for a couple of years and didn't give him everything he wanted. Because Paul Ryan's a rhino. He is now a huge anti-Trumper, working for Fox News on the board. So Trump learned his lesson the hard way, as did the voters, that these people are awful. Mitch McConnell is not to be trusted. John Cornyn out of Texas, not to be trusted. So something is going on with these Senate campaigns. In fact, I'm going to investigate that later this evening. See what I can come up with for our next walk. And also, we're going shooting tomorrow. So that should be fun. That'll be a lot of fun, actually. We picked up, my brother ran into some 45 ACP. They look like reloads. And some of them are kind of iffy. So we're going to take out the ones that don't look so good. Kind of old ammo. We might be going on an adventure tomorrow we don't want with those. We'll find out safely. Well, look what we have here. I feel like that sergeant in Full Metal Jacket when they find a donut in a Foot Locker. What the fuck is that? That is a Harris Waltz campaign sign. What the fuck is that, Gomer Pyle? So, we have our first Harris campaign sign. Last year, well, 2020, there was a couple of Biden signs and Democrat signs, especially at midterms last time. And in 2020, there was a couple of Biden signs. A lot of this on this street are liberals that either work at or go to the college up here, Bates College. So there's a Republican lawn up ahead too. See if they got anything out yet. We got our first Harris and Tim Walz sign. That gunny sergeant in Full Metal Jacket. That's so iconic. Sorry, I was just making myself laugh. Gotta enjoy this stuff. This is a historic time to be alive, whether you like what's going on or not. We've never experienced anything like this. It's kind of exciting. Maybe you don't want this much excitement in your life. I don't know. But we are in this together. I did notice a new Trump sign around our house in our neighborhood. The people put up a Trump sign, but they didn't put it out front. They put it kind of like behind off their porch. You can see it while you're walking by, but it's not in plain sight. So they're like supporting Trump, but they're afraid to put it in front of their house because they don't want to get firebombed or something. I don't know. So yeah, the Biden administration got caught lying about job numbers. They got busted. Very happy about that. They're hiding a very bad economy, which people are feeling, because like I said, people are doing their own vehicle repairs now. And we're starting to see poor economy stuff. Now, I'm not mistaken, we just walked by a place that I've walked by a lot, and you know, 2 of my walks 2 days in a row, after paying attention and looking for it, people have for sale stuff on their vehicles, signs. That guy was selling his pickup truck. That person was there looking at it. They were watching the engine run so you could listen to it. And that motorcycle across the street was for sale. So how many people have maxed out their credit cards and they're going to start getting behind on their mortgage now because they've been paying their mortgage with their credit card or their rent or whatever? Things are going to get bad, and it's going to get bad quick. So just things I'm noticing on my walks. Anybody at this point, if they're not voting for Trump, they're an idiot. So we got an Angus King sign over here. That is the independent senator from Maine, who's not even in this district. Makes me wonder why that sign's even there. He's not in this district. Anyways, we'll walk on. So the only new political sign I saw tonight is the Harris Tim Walz one. Three and a half miles. I've done 3.5 miles. We got 3.5 miles in the books. A lot of American flags out on this street. It's nice. I think there's a whole bush missing. Somebody stole that person's bush. I don't know where it went. Well, we got another car jack over here. Somebody else working on the vehicle. And an extension cord. So, somebody else working on their stuff. So when people aren't paying to have their cars worked on, what's the trickle down of that? If you own a garage, you're going to get less business. Who, by the way, have had to charge more money to work on your car because of the cost of stuff they use, including paying people more money than they used to. Now, if people are working on stuff by themselves, then I would imagine the car parts industry, local part stores, would be doing a little bit more business. Probably a lot more business. But there's been many times where I've needed a vehicle repair and I would buy the parts I needed ahead of time and I would give them to the person doing the work and they would install them. Because they get a discount at the business for car parts, but they also do a 10% markup to make up the difference, and they're not going to price shop the same way that you price shop, so they're going to charge you more for those parts anyway. So, you know, you can get a set of rotors for your car a lot cheaper than what you're going to get if you bring them yourself, for example. So, cheapest thing is doing the work yourself. But, you know, you got to have the equipment to do that. Having an impact wrench is very important. You know, a lot of times you work on a car that's got rust. You know, you're working on brake lines. You need a special tool for that. I have a set of wrenches for that. They're specifically made for brass fittings, because you don't want to break the tubing in your brake lines. Let's head down this way. I see something over there. It looks like a sign. I don't know what that is. Looks like an arrow. Some sort of arrow. For some reason, going somewhere. Open house. Hornet buzzing around me. Get out of here. What the hell those are for. They look like they got a couple of big giant poles. Well, we got a big giant concrete column installed there, and there's giant poles there, look like light poles. I don't know what all that stuff is, but it looks like they're putting up new light poles. I guess we'll be the first ones to see, since this is the route that I walk. So we got some stuff going on. Some excitement comes to Lewiston, Maine, finally. New light poles! Oh, I'm getting hungry. All I had before I left was some vegetables with some rice. I didn't have any meat at all because I didn't want a heavy stomach while walking. It's not good walking when you got a big full stomach. Just hit 4 miles at 1 hour and 9 minutes. 4 miles. That looks like another light pole concrete mount right here. So there's one on the other side. So it looks like they're going to put new lighting all around this track. I don't know if they're going to keep that I don't know if that's going to remain a running track or if they got other plans for it. But that's the lighting they're going to put in. Maybe they'll have that done before the students come in. Students are probably starting to come in now, actually. Some of them. I believe the new semester starts first week of September. In a couple weeks. So it's that time of year already. There's another maple tree up here, changing colors early. There you have it. But I'm going to get some leaves on the lawn. I'm going to divert off to the left up here so we don't get all this traffic noise. Rush hour, as you can see. Used to see a groundhog running around on this lawn here. Sometimes when I go by, I haven't seen it for a while. I'm wondering if it's been de-groundhogged. Alright, we'll take the quieter route down this way. Yes, please. It's okay. No problem. Thanks. Got an apple tree over here. Oh, that's a pretty good sized apples. Look at that. Pretty good sized apple tree. All right, we'll head up this way. Well, I hope y'all having a beautiful day today. Y'all. Oh, we got a Boston Bruins flag across the street. Very nice. I am a Boston Bruins fan, though I really have not watched hockey since before the pandemic. Well, we're walking along here. Yeah. I don't see any more political signs. So we saw our first Kamala Harris, Tim Walz sign. Very strange. Get the weed whackers out. Get the weed whacker brigade going. Are we having fun yet? Somebody's got a grill going. Not just that, they got a grill going with charcoal briquettes instead of the gas one. I prefer cooking on a grill with charcoal briquettes. It cooks better. gas grills. Basically, if you take a Pyrex dish and inside your house in the oven, put a chicken in there wrapped in tin foil, cook your chicken, then open the tin foil and put the broiler on in the oven. It's the same thing as a gas grill on a porch. So cooking with the charcoal briquette, so that's got that wood smoked flavor, because they usually make the charcoal briquettes so they have hickory in it and things like that. It just tastes so much better. The wood, everything just permeates the food you're cooking, and it has that real barbecue taste. And so a lot of these people like to use gas grills, and I've just never been a fan of them. I used to cook on a hibachi, and I used to cook on a charcoal grill, and it's to die for. It's the best. Absolutely delicious. Well, just one man's opinion. If that offends you, I'm sorry. Sorry and not sorry. I haven't seen my little black dog out here for a while. Hope he's all right. I hope the little black dog's okay. Oh, we got a new decoration up here. We got a new kind of shaky decoration. Very interesting. We'll come by here sometime at night. You can tell they've been working on it. We got this guy over here with a sword. Pretty cool. We'll come back by as progress progresses. Oh, we got another vehicle right there on jack stands with the tires being worked on, doing something with the wheels, probably doing their own brakes. I'm telling you, the economy's in the friggin' toilet. People can't afford to get their stuff fixed. I'm convinced of it. There's no way I would see this many vehicles like that. There's no way. Something's going down, man. Something's going down. Excuse me. Probably have to change the battery out of this soon. .6:05 in the PM. She's got Mickey Mouse hair. Look at that Mickey Mouse do. She's got Mickey Mouse ears on her head, but it's her hair. Alrighty. Hang a left up here. If I remember right, this battery will run out just as I get around the corner. Alright, we got a new battery in here. 5.10 miles. Got about a mile left. Alright. So anyway, what I was getting at is I knew I was going to be running out of battery. And so you can see the shadows are getting longer very quickly. It's only 6 o'clock. And before you know it, it's going to be dark at this time. Up in the northern hemisphere. Might be something you guys, y'all ain't used to. Like in the summertime here, it'll be dark at 9 o'clock at night. Right even in the peak of summer. And then people down in Florida are like, oh my God, I can't believe it's so dark so early. They don't get dark till 10, 10:30 at night. So, and that's what happens up north. That's why the climate is colder. I guess we're just used to it. So anyway, we're definitely going to have 6 miles today. We're already past 5. And as long as you get the right comfortable shoes, you should be fine to walk, if your health allows it. Like I've said a lot of times, consult with your doctor if you have medical issues, whatever prescriptions you might be on. Getting your heart rate up and walking might affect you negatively. Another good reason is let's say you're a little bit overweight and you decide to walk for your health. You don't exercise very often. Then you start walking, you will actually improve your cardiovascular system. And your heart getting exercise will regulate your blood pressure better. And then if you're on blood pressure medications, you might get your blood pressure too low. So if you change your exercise regimen, you're going to want to keep in touch with your doctor about that. So they can just check you out once in a while and make sure your blood pressure is not getting too low. So that's pretty important because you can pass out. Blood pressure gets too low, your feet can come right down underneath you and you'll just collapse. I've seen it happen. That's why I'm saying it. It's definitely starting to look like fall today. The shadows, this time of day, everything. It's really getting that vibe. So, I guess we're off to the races. Pretty soon it'll be too cold for me to walk. Won't be till December, probably. Last year I got to walk a lot more than I thought I would, because the weather allowed it, and the year before that I stopped walking about November 12th, and I didn't start up again until March. So I will try to come here in the wintertime, Thorn Craig, do a couple of short wintertime videos just for the sake of getting wintertime video. I won't be doing 5 miles or anything close to it. But I will want to get out of the house and do a couple things. Last year we went to the Barkermill Dam in Auburn through Simard Kane Park. So, you know, but then again, it was the mid-30s, upper 30s. It was tolerable to do that. Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. A couple of young hip guys on bikes. Cross over up here, walk across the street. We just hit 5.5 miles. So now I can feel good about my shorter 4-mile walk that I cheated on earlier this week. Get a scooter. An electric scooter. Alright. Go up this way, across the street. Perfect day today. Perfect. Speaking of purring, are you a perfect kitty? Hi there, kitty. Ooh, isn't that a pretty kitty? I'm just hanging out. Hey! How you doing?
Get over here!
Hi! How are ya? It's me, remember? How you doing?
You're a bad girl.
You a good dog? You a good doggy?
You're a bad girl. Go. Go!
She's having fun.
Oh yeah, she's cold.
I can already tell you right now, the reason why that dog does that is the dog gets attention from its owner. That's a big cloud, look at that. Pretty looking cloud. I like to stop and look at things. I like to smell the roses. Too many people just walk by things and they don't look at them, like the bark on this tree. Kind of peeling off on the way up. I wonder how many times in a lifetime a tree sheds its bark. I don't know. I am not an expert in trees. It is going to look nice when all these trees start turning colors though. I'll be happy to share that with you. You didn't get to see that last year. I was walking, I just wasn't recording the walks. So, but you'll get to see. Anyway, everybody, thank you for walking with me. Click like and subscribe. Share the content. I'm seeing a lot of American flags up, which is always good. Maybe people are ready to unify. They're not going to do it with Harrison walls. So Biden promised the same thing. I'm going to unify this country, and then he divided it more than we've ever have been. That son of a bitch. We can't go backward, folks. Vote for Trump 2024. We'll see you on the next walk. Thank you for walking with me. God bless everybody. Stay safe and take care of yourselves and your family. Bye-bye, folks.